More people die each year from flash floods than from lightning, tornadoes, or hurricanes combined, making them the deadliest meteorological event. Flash floods occur suddenly and without warning. They are incredibly strong and have the ability to lift up big boulders, uproot trees, and even break bridges. Flash floods, as the name suggests, occur quickly and with little or no warning. Reports claim that they can form in as little as 58 seconds. They typically appear in small streams, canyons, or dry riverbeds with drainage areas of less than 20 square miles. Flash flooding often strikes when the source of the rain is still overhead, as opposed to regular flooding, which may not arrive for days or even weeks after a period of snowmelt or rain. Where are flash floods most likely to occur? Densely populated areas. There is a considerable probability of flash flooding in densely populated areas, because less rain is absorbed by the land as a result of the construction of buildings, roads, driveways, and parking lots. Runoff is increased. The risk of a flash flood is increased by this runoff. Storm drains are occasionally used to carry streams through towns and cities. When it rains heavily, the storm drains may overflow or become clogged with debris, flooding the neighboring roads and structures. Subterranean parking garages, basements, and low water crossings are just a few examples of low places that can quickly turn into deadly death traps. Areas near rivers. Floods can occur in areas close to rivers. Levees, which are embankments designed to stop high water from flooding adjacent land, are frequently constructed along rivers. Devastating floods occurred in 1993 as a result of numerous levee failures along the Mississippi River. Days after Hurricane Katrina made landfall in New Orleans in 2005, the city was devastated by catastrophic flooding as a result of the breakdown of the levees built to defend it. Dam failures. A sudden and destructive flood of water can be caused by dam failures. A dam failure upstream of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, in 1889 resulted in the unleashing of a 30 to 40-foot wall of water, which instantly killed 2,200 people. Mountains and steep hills. Streams rise swiftly as a result of the rapid runoff produced by mountains and steep hills. Water infiltration into the ground is limited by rocks and shallow, clay soils. Rapid flash floods can result from saturated soils as well. If there are thunderstorms nearby, it may not be safe to camp or enjoy outdoor activities by rivers or streams. In hilly places, a brook that is barely 6 inches deep can quickly swell to a 10-foot deep roaring river in less than an hour if a rainstorm hangs over the area for a long time. It is sometimes difficult to spot a serious scenario since the thunderstorms that cause the excessive rainfall may occur upstream from the affected location. Canyons, small streams and dry arroyos. Flooding can occur even in dry land from very severe rainfall. Most canyons, minor streams, and dry arroyos in the west can go unnoticed as potential hazard spots. Upstream of the canyon, where the precipitation that caused the problem sometimes happens, hikers sometimes get trapped by quickly rising water. Rapidly moving debris poses serious threats to life when carried by floodwaters. Recent burn areas in mountains. Mountainous areas that have recently burned, as well as urban areas with pavement and rooftops that facilitate runoff or other high-risk places. Ice jams and snowmelt. Snowmelt and ice jams can contribute to flash floods. Snowmelt runoff is increased by a thick snowpack. Flash flooding can occur when heavy spring rains fall on a snowpack that is melting. Floods brought on by ice jams on creeks and rivers may also be caused by the melting of the snowpack. During the winter, thick layers of ice frequently develop on rivers and streams. Large chunks of ice may be lifted and broken by melting snow and/or warm rain running into streams, causing them to jam against bridges and other structures. As a result, the water level behind the ice jam quickly rises. Serious flash floods could happen downstream if the water is abruptly released. Huge ice pieces may be forced through homes and other structures and onto the coast. China has had a number of the deadliest floods ever recorded. There are various rivers in that nation that are surrounded by sizable populations. But there is a chance for a fatal flood anywhere there is a river. Number 1. 1931 China floods. The Yangtze River floods of 1931 are another name for this series of floods. After a drought from 1928 to 1930, there was a lot of snowfall in the Yangtze and Huai River region. Early in 1931, when it began to defrost, additional water poured down the river with still melting ice and snow. The rivers then rose much higher as a result of months of persistently heavy rain. Flooding forced residents of low-lying districts to leave starting in June. Then, in July, 9 cyclone storms that were akin to hurricanes struck the area, intensifying the rainfall. In 1 month, there was 2 feet of rain in the area. This resulted in flooding the size of England, about 69,000 square miles, which negatively impacted 8 different provinces while having more moderate consequences in several others. In total, 150,000 people perished directly from drowning in the floods. The inability to obtain food or other essentials of life, however, is said to have caused the deaths of an additional 2 million people. The following year, a cholera outbreak was also brought on by the flood. This is a bacterial sickness brought on by consuming contaminated water, which is presumably what those in the impacted area were doing given their lack of access to supplies. This outbreak resulted in up to 100,000 more fatalities. According to some estimates, this months-long inundation caused approximately 4 million fatalities overall. Although the flood waters began to subside in August, several of the region's rivers did not return to normal until November 1931 due to additional full rains. The flooding had an impact on between 25 and 50 million people. Important wheat and rice fields in the vicinity suffered a 15% loss. Number 2. 1887 Yellow River Flood. The Yellow River flood in China in 1887 claimed the lives of almost 900,000 people. The fact that Chinese farmers would construct dikes along the river to safeguard their crops contributed to the severity of this flood. As a result, the river's overall level increased since it was unable to deposit silt during typical minor floods. Over 50,000 square miles were devastated by this flood. 2 million people experienced home loss. A further 900,000 people are thought to have perished after the floods as a result of a lack of access to food, clean water, and medical care. Experts predict that this deluge killed at least 3 million people worldwide. Number 3. 1938 Yellow River Flood. The Japanese army had taken control of northern China by 1938. Thus, the Chinese troops built levees on the Yellow River to stop it from being advanced upon. Numerous Japanese soldiers perished in the inundation. However, it's unclear how many. Local neighborhoods were also impacted, though overall fatalities are thought to have been between 800,000 and 900,000. However, this estimate is not confirmed. Many government representatives had already departed the war-torn areas. Thus, there were occasionally no official counts. Following the flooding, the neighborhood suffered severe effects for several years. Due to the silt on the fields, they were not as fertile. Numerous buildings were demolished. One of the most serious instances of environmental warfare ever is this. According to experts, the river's original channel was not restored until 1947. Number 4. 1975 Bangkok Dam failure. On August 7, 1975, a year's worth of rainfall, about 3.5 feet for the region, dropped during Typhoon Nina, a Category 3 storm. The dam had been designed to withstand a 1-foot rainfall event that happened once every 10,000 years. The People's Liberation Army intentionally had to demolish other dams further downstream to prevent the water as a result of the dam failing. However, the Kwan River's dikes failed. Between 85,000 and 240,000 people died as a result of the inundation. Whole towns, including the Daoancheng commune, were completely destroyed. The weather and the technology available at the time made it difficult to hear or understand warnings. Since many locals at the time lacked telephones, signals were sent via telegraph and flares. The floodwaters frequently swept away messengers who were trying to personally deliver the warning to cities. Having said that, we hope this spreads awareness. Please subscribe to Weather Collapse if you want to know more and be updated on the latest news about natural calamities or disasters happening all over the world. And don't forget to like today's video. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.